Even campfire wood has gotten expensive, so in today's video I'm going to show you my process of turning free logs into campfire wood and kindling. The other day I went for a run and I saw some guys cutting down a tree, so I stopped real quick and I talked to them and I was like, hey, can I have some of your logs? And they were like, yes. So I came back a little bit later with my car and they helped load it, and I just brought it the block or two back to my house, so I have a whole pile of it sitting right here. So let's go talk about what we're going to need to churn these logs into campfire wood. So this is the gear that I'm going to use today. The first thing is this little battery operated DeWalt chainsaw. I've had this for a couple years now. We used it during Hurricane Helene. It comes in really handy because it's battery operated. There's basically no maintenance. Put the battery in, it starts right up. I do have a little bit of chainsaw oil right here, and for safety I have some ear protection and some safety glasses. And then to split the wood, I have this Fiskars splitting axe X27. This thing has been awesome. I use this thing on all of my wood that I'm splitting, and it has gone really well. Probably needs to get sharpened a little bit. It rained a lot last night, so we'll see how well this wood's gonna split today. And then if I really need, I have a wedge. I hope I don't have to use this. It says wear safety goggles, I never noticed that. And at the end, I have this little kindling cracker, which is pretty cool. My kids like to use this, so I'll show you at the end how well this works to make the larger split pieces into some nice little kindling. So now let's go cut up this large piece with our chainsaw. I've been using this chainsaw for a couple of years, like I said, and it really got used during Hurricane Helene. Even when the power went out, I was able to recharge it with my generator, so I didn't have any real problems even running it with no power. And I'm just using this premium bar lubricant. This is oil free. I just happened to pick it up a couple of years ago, and if you put too much in, it definitely leaks out, goes up pretty quick. This stuff's pretty stringy. It works, keeps the chain lubricated, and we're all set to go. So that's basically all the maintenance that there is with this thing. And there it goes. So now let's cut up this wood. This is a big piece of wood and we are about an inch short, so we're really gonna have to work through it, but I did cut through it once already. So I'm just gonna show you that even this small little chainsaw can get through this pretty big oak piece of wood. It's definitely got some power. So now let's put on our ear protection. I really like these. I use them when I mow a lot. And we got our eye protection. So now let's start cutting. So the main thing that you need to do is make sure that you're safe. I've got my eye protection and my house is right behind here, so I can see the back door in case my kids come outside. I can see them, so I know there's nobody behind me. I will still always check. And when you're about to split your wood, you want to make sure that your legs stay spread like this, so that if you miss and it comes through, it's gonna go right here. If you have your legs together, you're gonna hit yourself in the shin and you're going to end up in the emergency room, and nobody wants that. And then when we get to some smaller pieces, I'll show you where to put it on the log so that if you do miss, it goes into the log. But you wanna make sure that when you're swinging your axe, it does not hit you. If you don't feel comfortable, go watch some other videos, because there's a lot of people that will give you a lot of tips and tricks. So let's get started. I'm gonna use this as my base today. We're gonna start with this smaller piece. Well, that first log was really easy. It went through all the pieces on the first hit, except maybe one or two, and I got 8 pieces out of that. I was at the gas station yesterday, and it was like $8 for 7 pieces. So I'm already coming out ahead with basically $1 a piece. I had to buy some of my equipment, but over time that pays for itself as long as I keep doing this. So now, let's see if we can get some cool shots when we split the rest of these logs. And here is the wood I was able to split today. I got a nice little pile. All of this wood was cut down about a week ago, so it was fresh, wet wood. There was a few little knots in here, but they weren't too bad today. My wood rack is full right now, so I'm gonna put these at the top of this berm. They're gonna take about 6 months to a year to really dry out. So maybe in the fall I can use some of it. But because my wood rack is full with wood that I cut last summer that I'm going to use this summer, this wood will go up there and dry, and we'll be ready to use it in about a year. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I split some of this with this little kindling cracker, and then it can really dry out quicker, and that's what I might be able to use later this summer. The next part
Here, I'll get out of the way.
The next part of our process is to make some kindling. Usually we might bring this on some of our trips if we have room in the car, or we just kind of do it in the backyard, but it's just this piece of metal, and it has a blade right here. It's called kindling cracker. It's pretty cool, it's pretty easy. You're just gonna take it and then you put your piece of wood right here, and I got a little 5-pound hammer. And very simply, it'll split the wood. So you can do it quite a few times and you'll make it pretty small, and it makes some pretty good kindling. Also, it's really easy that my kids can just do it, and so they will spend the time at the campground sometimes just hacking away with a little mallet and making kindling. So it's pretty fun. Take some time when you're at the campground, give you something to do. And this is all really fresh wood. I just cut this the other day. So this piece has some knots in it, and it's pretty big. Let's see how well this will work. We're just gonna put it on and smack it through. So it took a little bit, but we got it. So even with some wood with a lot of knots that's really wet, splits it right up. And there we go, we're all done. So hopefully this little video just gives some people an idea on how we go from a log to some kindling and firewood. Or if you're just someone who doesn't really know how to process firewood, or just trying to figure out how to get firewood a little bit cheaper and what you might need to make your own firewood in your backyard. Camping has gotten really expensive, so any way that you can save some money is definitely useful. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.